Hello guys, Chris here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing the GeForce RTX 4070 Ti in Red Dead Redemption 2. We're going to kill Bob once again, oh yes. So this one is the Gigabyte Gaming OC model of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I am not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech PowerUp's GPU-Z. Resizable bar is enabled. It has 12 gigs of GDDR6X and 7680 CUDA cores. And over on the left, we are pairing it with the Ryzen 750 800X3D and 32 gigabytes of RAM. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's go over the settings now. I'm playing at 4K resolution to start this off, and we're using the maximum settings in the game. So I manually set everything to the maximum, aside from MSAA anti-aliasing. That's not really needed, honestly. It's just an FPS killer, but everything else is maxed out. And yeah, let's try this out first at 4K, then 1440p, and then 1080p. Maybe some 8K as well. Ooh, just take a look at what I discovered here, guys. So I was seeing the FPS a bit too low previously when I started the game, and I remembered seeing like around 60 FPS in my full review of the 4070 Ti. So what I did was lower the water physics quality from the maximum to this, which is almost the maximum, and it went from 40-ish FPS, as you can see. Like, this is crazy, to 60 FPS. So, I guess we're just gonna run it with the water physics set to almost highest setting. That makes a way bigger difference than I thought it would. Okay, well, 60 FPS is back here. Oh, people are once again fighting each other around here. Yeah, they're always doing this at the start of my benchmark runs. This is very interesting. Let's get into the fight as well. All right, we don't want to kill the roaches, or their roaches. Oh, yes. Okay, we want to kill them bastards. Okay, there we go. This one is gonna die. There it is. Yeah, it's good to test like the FPS and the aim and stuff like that, although I am terrible at aiming in this game, honestly. I forgot to start counting our FPS, I'm sorry about that, but it's counting now. Yeah, it feels buttery smooth basically, even at 4K resolution. This is super demanding, what we're seeing right now. Lots of vegetation, the water effects previously as well. It gets around the same FPS in Saint Denis, the big city in this game, by the way, and basically near the water is where things are more intensive. So it's good to see that it doesn't really drop that much if you don't have that water physics quality set to the maximum, you know. I really suggest you to not use it on maximum because it just doesn't really make a difference, honestly. Let's go, Roach! What the? Ah, boy, are you okay? Are you okay? I think so. I think he's all right. Yeah, just get up, buddy. Oh, look at the deformation on the ground. That's amazing, actually. The attention to detail in this game is awesome. Also, I am so sorry about the screen tearing. I tried everything. I updated the firmware on my capture card, and supposedly it supports VRR now, variable refresh rate, but it doesn't really work for some reason. It's enabled and everything, but I can still see tearing. Well, that's one thing that we gotta live with for accurate FPS. Roach, are you okay, buddy? Yes, I think he's fine. There we go. Can you breathe, please? All right, thank you. Oh boy, that scared me a little bit there. Oh, it's almost nighttime, so... What? Did you... Bro, what? We got Rex here as well? What the hell is happening here? What? I am so confused. I think Roach actually fished a fish, and Rex is just here because he loves us, of course. Oh, yes. Are you thanking me for killing Bob in GTA 5? Let's move on from here. Look at those God rays, by the way. It's absolutely beautiful. Also, the screen tearing will sort of be minimized at lower resolutions and when we turn on DLSS as well, so it's gonna be okay. All right, guys, don't get too mad at me for that. It's not my fault. I'm gonna stop it right there, okay? 61 FPS average is definitely playable. Just gonna load another save game that's earlier in the morning, you know, so it doesn't go to nighttime right away. And we shall test it with DLSS next. Here we go. Saint Denis, 6:15 a.m., 11 degrees Celsius. And as you can see, it gets around the same FPS, 50-something, 60s. It's exactly the same as we've seen previously in the 4 forest or jungle area, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead now and enable NVIDIA DLSS to quality with this sharpening right here. Actually, I'm gonna lower the sharpening a bit because it already looked really sharp anyways. Oh, it looks almost like native resolution, I was going to say, but then I looked at Arthur's face and it's a little bit over sharpened still. But you can adjust the sharpening filter, so that's all right. It's still looking fantastic right now, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, oh no, they haven't really fixed the noise in Arthur's hair whenever you're using DLSS, so Roach's hair will also look pretty weird. By the way, where is that bastard? Gotta start counting the FPS first. There we go. Should we go through here? Is there an exit? Oh yes, there is an exit from the other side. Okay, there we go. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's always been waiting for me here. I didn't know that. 69 FPS average, by the way. Beautiful stuff. But yeah, I always went to the other way. He's always been waiting for me there. So I've always blamed Roach for not being near me, but he was always there. I am so sorry, Roach. By the way, if you look at Roach's ass, or the tail, actually, you can probably see a little bit of noise. It's going to be more noticeable at the lower resolutions, but yeah, it is also a little bit noticeable here. Also, I'm not sure if you're noticing it, but the game is actually stuttering just a little bit when I enable DLSS. It's pretty weird, but sometimes, every once in a while, there will be a bigger stutter that you can actually notice, like that over there on the frame time graph. Did you see that? Like, there are usually some little spikes there, but every once in a while there is going to be a bigger one. And yeah, that's a little bit of an instability like that once again while using DLSS. I've been noticing this with a lot of Nvidia GPUs, like the 2060, the 3060 Ti, 3080 Ti as well. I think it's just a game issue because I've seen a couple of comments already in Red Dead Redemption 2 videos of mine saying that the game is a little bit stuttery when they enable DLSS as well. So please, Rockstar, fix this issue. Come on. Also, why don't I feed Roach? I hear you ask. He's very hungry. Well, I don't have any more food and I don't know where to get it. But speaking of FPS, they are absolutely amazing right now. I don't think it ever drops from 60 FPS using these settings, and the game just looks stunning like this. Like right now we got no fog whatsoever, so we can appreciate all of that detail. It is one of the most beautiful games out there at the moment. Oh my god, Roach, everything is fine. Oh boy, let's go this way. If you have a 4070 Ti, I would actually play at 4K with the DLSS enabled. It's an amazing game, doesn't require really fast reactions, so it plays really well at 60 Hertz or 60 FPS, and we get 60 FPS plus all of the time. So fantastic experience right here. And the stutters also have stabilized by the end of it. Maybe they only happen in Saint Denis, I don't know, but it's something weird that I noticed anyways. Let's turn off DLSS and let's go ahead and turn it down to 1440p. Here we go, 2560 by 1440 is now the resolution using the exact same settings. I didn't touch anything other than DLSS, of course, which we turned off. And this GPU is really capable at 1440p resolution, so unsurprisingly, it's getting really good FPS. I think, yeah, I also tested it at 1440p in my first review video of the 4070 Ti. It got around 90 frames per second on average, which is exactly what we're getting here. As you probably noticed already, the game doesn't really change in performance too much in different scenarios and stuff like that, different areas as well. Unless you have that water physics setting set to the maximum, then it will actually drop a lot near water. But yeah, I don't recommend it once again. All right, let's go in the other direction. No, it's fine. Hey, Roach, do not leave me here with this boy. Come over here, dude. Gosh, Roach hates us so much, dude. Look at where he is. Oh boy, there's an alligator over there, buddy. Okay, they don't attack Roach for some reason, only me. I'm sinking, Roach. Can you please be faster, boy? Thank you very much fog is starting to clear up a little bit. Oh yes, that looks way better. Again, you can probably notice, even on YouTube with the compression and stuff, the textures aren't as good as at 4K resolution. That's completely normal, but on a native 1440p monitor, this will still look really awesome. And it's gonna play absolutely fantastic as well. Anyways, let's stop it there. 90 FPS average. Really awesome stuff. But yeah, I would definitely choose to play at native resolution because it was already buttery smooth. But what if you like the over-sharpened look of DLSS? Let's set it to quality here and see how many more frames we can get. 110, maybe like 90, 20 more FPS from 90 to 110, yeah. Yes, you know what would be great? If we went to the Strawberry Town, so I can show you that FPS don't really change that much there, because a lot of people like to say that, well, you didn't test in Strawberry, and that's the most intensive town around, so we're gonna see that. Okay, so in dense forest areas, it can actually drop from 100 frames per second. Also, those 1% lows are terrible, because of the DLSS stuttering issue in this game, although now I'm not really feeling any slowdowns or stutters here, so it's okay. Also, on my 4K monitor, DLSS actually looks better at 1440p than native 1440p. If you are running a higher resolution panel and you want to lower the resolution, like say a 4K monitor, and you want to play at 1440p for higher FPS, it will actually look better using DLSS. In general, as you can probably tell, there is a lot of noise in Arthur's hair as well as in Roach's tail. I'm not sure why they haven't fixed it yet. Like, yeah, it's been here since forever, since like DLSS was implemented in the game, but they still haven't fixed it. I'm not sure. Are they not playing with DLSS? Maybe not, because this is very, very apparent, and it's a big issue, I think. Roach is very, very tired. We make to do a little pause. We need to do a little pause right here, so I will pause that FPS counter as well, and we should move on to 1080p, which is not a resolution that you should utilize for sure with a 4070 Ti, but I'll test it anyways. Oh, at least at 1080p we can actually play at 120 Hz here with this capture card. That's great. Ultra settings, no DLSS at the moment. That feels way smoother because of the refresh rate. Oh my goodness. What the? What? Why? Why do you need to do this, Roach? Every time. Every time. What the hell? Why did you climb the tree? You're not a monkey. Anyways, 115. Not a big improvement, actually, coming from 1440p. I was expecting a way bigger improvement here. And also, GPU usage is starting to fluctuate a little bit. That's interesting because with the 4090, I saw it going up to like 200 frames per second. So we can't really be CPU bound here, right? At 1080p. That makes no sense. Maybe it's NVIDIA reflex. Sometimes that lowers GPU utilization a bit to improve input lag, and it's more apparent at lower resolutions usually. So I guess that's what's going on, because we're not really seeing lower than like 95% GPU usage. But anyways, even if we did disable NVIDIA reflex, it would get us only like 3 or 4 more frames per second. Doesn't really matter, so let's continue here. Now at 1080p, at least on my 42-inch monitor, things are looking really soft, and the detail is just not there. For example, look at Arthur's jacket there. It looks really smudgy, actually, and there is no texture there almost. Going up into the 120s more often around here, because, well, it's only an empty field with some grass. Also, you might think that these are not very impressive results, and to be honest, you know, this is an older title. It released a few years ago on consoles, and it's only getting around 120 FPS on a 4070 Ti. It doesn't sound very good, does it? But this game on Ultra is like one of the most intensive games out there. It doesn't even use ray tracing, and it's super, super intensive. Should we enable some DLSS? It's been a while playing at 1080p, and this is not really a resolution that you should utilize. Can I click it, please? Thank you. Quality DLSS, everything else is still the same, and now it should actually look better to me. Slightly higher FPS, like what, 5 frames more or something like that. It's not a big difference by any means, but I am seeing a lot more sharpness going on, and maybe even more detail at the 1080p resolution, Because that's the case in a lot of games. Well, not a lot, maybe like a few games. DLSS sometimes makes the image look better than native resolution because it's actually learning from a 16K image and just downscaling everything. And some games that aren't really that blurry and stuff like that can look better. And YouTube has a lot of compression going on, as I'm sure you're aware of. We already talked about this. And this game with a lot of grass, well, it should look quite pixelated, unfortunately, even though I'm doing my best, like, with the rendering and stuff. It takes me like 3 hours to render a video at 4K. But I do it anyways, because I want you to have that quality. Okay, finally, we arrived at the Strawberry Town, which, again, a lot of people tell me is the most intensive city in the entire game, mainly because it has a ton of water, and it's actually dropping it from 100 FPS. So you might be onto something. I'm actually gonna try it at 4K here, alright, with DLSS. Here we go, with DLSS enabled on quality still, because if you remember, it didn't drop from 60, and I'm really curious if it drops from 60 over here or not. So far, okay. Closer to the lower 60s, but it is not dropping, so we can say that it's almost the same experience, even here, as it was in Strawberry. Saint Denis. Yeah, not Strawberry. Strawberry is this town right here. It is, however, having a little bit more inconsistencies there in the frame time graph. That's weird, because VRAM is not maxed out either, so it can't be a VRAM limitation issue. Yeah, interesting. But by the way, I actually tested this with the RTX 2060. If you lock the FPS, those stutters will be gone. So, of course, I'm not going to lock anything because this is a benchmark video. But if I did lock it to 60, it would stay at 60 100% of the time because it doesn't even drop here. And it would be buttery, buttery smooth. So keep that in mind. If you're seeing stuttering, lock the FPS. Anyways, to end the video now, I'm going to turn off DLSS and use some resolution scale to achieve 8K resolution. So we can't really go over 8K, as you can see. If I set it to 2.5x, we don't have enough VRAM, unfortunately, but we can set it to 8K, which is 2 times the vertical resolution of 4K. That's how the resolution scales work in games, basically. Oh. Okay, so that's not a good sign. Let's try it out again. All right, here we go. 8K ultra settings, almost maxed out aside from water physics and a couple of other settings. It gets us 20 frames per second. That's actually pretty impressive because I think if we set it to like high settings preset or something like that, we would see 30 plus easily. And with DLSS as well, we would also see 30 plus all of the time. But unfortunately, since I am using resolution scale here to test 8K today, because my monitor, this monitor for some reason doesn't allow me to use DSR to play at 8K resolution, because it gives me another weirder resolution. It's a TV basically, so that could be what's causing it. I don't know. But yeah, this is still very impressive. I mean, the fact that I can still run around here with Roach, take some screenshots, beautiful ones like pen sharp screenshots. This is amazing for that. If you are an in-game photographer, for example, there are a ton of people that enjoy that. This is awesome, actually. So, super impressive results, but I guess a lot of people saw that coming, since this GPU is very close in performance to a 3090 Ti, and my 3080 Ti was also quite playable when using DLSS at 8K resolution. I definitely gotta get another 4K monitor for these 8K resolution tests with DSR, because it just doesn't work with the TV again. Anyways, that's been it for this one, my friends. Thank you so much for watching it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Stay sharp, stay crispy. Love you all. Bye-bye.